TV. I don't know about you, we've got that Friday feeling today at Crafters TV. It is Friday, it's Friday afternoon, probably maybe even morning where you are. It means one thing, it means it is Colour Me Happy, and it is a very, very special Colour Me Happy. We've got a very special guest joining us in the studio. Now, not only have we got an incredible guest, I am, of course, joined by the boss as well, and there's loads going on in the show, loads of things to download. I'm going to give something away as well, Sarah, isn't that right?
So you mean I wasn't the very special guest?
No, not today. Normally...
Ooh, hashtag a little bit awkward. Hashtag a little bit awkward there, Joe. Actually, I'll take that one when you see who we have got, because here's the thing, okay? Cast your mind back a few months ago, in fact it was right at the beginning of lockdown, that we launched our discovery kits, right? And the discovery kits are a way for loads of you to try a new craft. Well, hands down, our number one most popular discovery kit was this one here. So it's the blended mandalas. I'll show you it here. This is the blended mandalas kit that we did. And we worked with an incredibly talented artist called Baz Fennell. We hunted him down on Instagram, and he did all of this really clever artwork. In fact, I've got the original one of that one here. So he does artwork like this. So you know how like a regular mandala wouldn't look 3D like this, and the way the light bounces off it, that's what Baz does. So whether it's work like this or like this gorgeous one here, we've got loads to show you over the course of the show as well, but there is tricks and tips and techniques, learning about where the light source is, how you get depth and shade, and I figured the best way for me to learn how to do this and for you guys to learn this was to just get Baz in the studio. So Baz has taken over Joe's side of the studio. Give everyone a wave, Baz.
Oh yeah, everyone.
So Baz is going to be here with us for the whole of the 2 hours. Now, Baz, what we've done is we've kind of hoodwinked Baz. So we've had him draw a specific mandala for this show. And actually, we've got a whole set of downloads, colouring downloads. So if you haven't already, I need you to go to crafterscompanion.co.uk or .com/colourmehappy. There you will find this week's download. Now in this week's download, look what we've got. We've got the mandala that we're going to be working on. So this is what Baz is going to be walking us all through. Then you've also got these mandalas, which are the ones from the Discovery Kit that you all might want to do again. But you might, once you've learnt the techniques, you see, you've got a few more advanced ones that you can practice with. Now, here's the thing. I want you all to join along with us in the show. So I want you to go, we're going to start with Baz in about 10 minutes or so, which gives you time to go get the download, get it printed onto some cardstock. Gives everyone time to get onto the show, because it's normally about 10-15 minutes into the show we get settled and everyone's in here, and then Baz is going to start walking us through. So do you want to give us a little hint and tip, Baz, as to what we've got to look forward to?
Yeah, so what we're going to try and do is going to take the template there, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, and over a course of stages we're going to try and turn it into this design here. So I'll walk you through that step by step using just the brushes I have in my hand, and then hopefully everybody will end up with a design that looks like that.
Right, so just to confirm the brushes that everyone's going to need, right? So if you've got the blended mandalas kit, I'm going to be using the, let's have a little look. I'm going to be using the art liner brushes from the blended mandalas kit. If you don't have the blended mandalas kit, we've got it on the show, but also we've got our set of art liners. I'll get Joe to walk you through all of the products. Now, when Baz put these kits together with us, we just had the regular tri-blends. Well, of course, we've now got the tri-blend brush out. So we're going to start and have a little bit play with one of the tri-blend brushes. But if you're joining in at home, you can use either one of the regular tri-blends or one of the brushes. So we'll be working with everything, but what you must do, I've got my pointy pens out, what you must do is go and get that downloaded and printed now onto some cards. If you haven't got Nina cardstock, just print it onto some regular paper, and then you can still work along and have a little bit of a try. Even if you haven't got like exactly these pens or the art liners, still get a black fine liner pen and give it a go with us, because we want you to come and be part of our show. I'll let Joe tell you exactly why you need to be part of the show.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because we are going to be giving away, well, not one, 2 prizes, I know, both from Baz. So we've got this awesome original artwork that Baz has done for us, this beautiful mandala here. So we're going to give this one away, which will be amazing. Baz is going to sign it as well, which is awesome. And Baz is also going to give away one that he works on during the show. So there'll actually be 2 lucky winners. Now, it's so easy to enter. All you need to do is drop us a comment at any point during the next 2 hours. Now, where do you pop those comments? Okay, over on Facebook, Crafters TV. If on the Facebook, they're in the live feed, comment there. And also drop us comments over on YouTube. This will be an amazing show for you to get any questions that you've got over the course of the show as well. So whether it's for Sarah or for Baz across the show, drop those questions in there too, and I will pop them across to the guys. Loads of you tuning in saying hi already. Debbie's in from Ohio. Debbie Holiday's here in Devon. Pamela, Roberta, Helen, Betsy, Gilmore. Loads of you. Gilmore saying looking forward to a colouring coma. There'll be loads of those coming up today in the show. Right. Lots of brilliant deals for you in the show. So I know they were launched not very long ago at all. It's a recent launch of our Tri-Blend brush pens. Now, they are incredible. It's the first time I've actually been able to get my hands on them. Now, what we've done is we've given you a fantastic deal on them. $79.99 or $119.95 is your price. You can use your Club Inspired discount, of course, but you're going to get the blended mandalas discovery kit completely free of charge in there as a bonus as well. That is worth $11.99 or $15.95. You'll get it totally free of charge. So that's very busy. That's already been busy. Just as we've come live already, just in the show alone, over 10% of that stock has sold out and gone. So do be quick if you want to grab those.
Joe, that's the last of our boxes, by the way, as well.
It is
the Tri-Blend. That is the big boxes that we do. The snowboard from China is on its way with more. However, we are talking quite a way out, so a couple of months before we get our next delivery. So we'll still have the single 3-pack sets, but if you want the special deal on the big 24-pack, that's the last of our stock. Joe's not just telling you what we've got for this show, that's the last of what we've got until the next delivery comes.
Absolutely. There are 3-packs available there for you on the website. Get any 3 of those, £26 or $40 if you wish to, but I know what you want. You want all of them. You want the whole collection, and if you want those, you need to grab them whilst we're in this configuration. Now, we do have the original Tri-Blends for you available as well, ever popular as well. So they are available for you. It is your Deep Blends 24-piece collection that you've got, and again, it will come with that free discovery kit too, worth $11.99 or $15.95, $79.99 or $19.95 if you want to get those. Now, something else that I think you're going to get a lot of use from, especially if you're going to do the techniques that Baz is going to share with us through this show, you will want to go for these. This is the art liners. It's a 6-piece collection, varying sizes in here for you, £10 or $13 if you want to grab those. Now, if you want to, also, now there's another deal running over on our social media at the moment, which is Spectember, which means that we're gonna give you a discount on our discovery kits, which is awesome. So you can get a discount on those as well. They're all there available, so you've got concept design, creative coloring, the manga and comic, blended mandalas, modern calligraphy, watercolors. The lovely Benita joined us last Friday to take us through watercoloring as well. They're all there, but you do need to enter a code at checkout. That code is Discover20, and you'll get 20% off of the price that you see just there, which is awesome. What I would say is there's loads of other stuff, great stuff on the website in this show category for you. Get yourself over to crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.au. There's storage trays, there's great stamps there as well. Pop yourself over. I would say if you haven't yet downloaded that download and got it printed off and ready to go, you've got about 10 minutes till we go over to Baz. So in that time, I know Sarah's really keen, and I'm really keen to learn as well, because I haven't seen them demonstrated yet, these Tri-Blend brush pens, which have been so incredibly popular, Sarah, since we launched them.
You haven't seen the Tri-Blends yet, Joe? Joe, where have you been? So this is literally life-changing when it comes to blending, okay? So you know I'm a little bit obsessive about having the 3 colours in a blend, right? So we have your light, your medium, and the dark. So for example, these are the true blues. And if I bring this down here, can you see? Light, medium, and dark. But what you're going to do is, you're going to start, you've got the dark. The dark is going to blend into the mid. So we're going to blend straight through to our mid tone. It's going to blend straight through to our light tone as well. whichever shade and coloration that we work this with. So that, for example, there's your blues. Let me get all these back in. And then one of my favourites. Oh, let's use the one that we're going to be using later with Baz, okay? So this is your jade green blend. Look, you start with the dark. We blend into the mid straight from the dark there. Do you know I haven't got any yet? Let me just put another piece of card underneath and they'll blend a little bit easier. So you blend into the mid. Then you blend from the mid into the light. Look what a difference it's made, by the way, adding that piece of card underneath. And you get that wonderful ombre from one to the next. Now, they do have this incredible brush nib, Joe. So let me just get one of our other tri-blends out so that you can then see the difference and we can compare them. So I'll get the jade green out. So it's exactly the same colours, but look, you've got the fine point with your regular tri-blends, and then you've got that brush nib. So this is what you're doing with our regular tri-blend pens. This is the difference when we're working with the brush pens, right? Now, they're wonderful for your regular blending, but watch this. I'm going to just do a little bit of work. Oh, look, I've put the wrong lid on the wrong pen. Here we go, Joe. I'm going to do a little bit of work on the butterfly. So let me just start off in here, and let's start with the dark shade around the edge. So can you see, because we've got the brush, we can just bring in those light, gentle brush strokes all the way in, and you've got the accuracy of that gorgeous Japanese brush nib, Joe, but you've got the control that you would expect to have regularly. So because we've got that brush as well, we're kind of flicking this in a little bit, and I'm going to do loads of techniques over the course of the show showing you that flicking. Then I come to the mid one, and I'm just starting to go over where we've got the end of the darkest one. And can you see I've achieved that perfect ombre blend that we're always aspiring to achieve with tri-blends. And then I'm coming right into the lightest one, and we're blending that perfectly from one into the next. And you know I always like to do a butterfly, because butterflies are a nice, brilliant, easy way to start with, and I think you get that nice blend moving through really seamlessly. But you see we've got that dark mid and the light, but look how juicy they are because we're working with the brush tip. So can you see you can either work very, very fine edge, or you can do lovely big areas with the brush nib.
Are they good for beginners, these, Sarah?
Oh, Joe, they would be brilliant. If you are brand new at all of this, how fantastic that you could be picking these up. This could be your starting product that kind of gets you into colouring. And you know, tri-blend are like one of my very proudest things that I've done. The idea, because I'm quite I would say I always consider myself to be quite a beginner colourist, Joe. And the thing that I struggled with was knowing how to do blends of different colours. So putting all three colours that you need to blend perfectly in one pen, for me, just made it absolutely genius and so easy to achieve those perfect blends. And I think what we've done is with the brush is just taken it to the next level. So still giving you the option to achieve that perfect, beautiful blend, but we've done it in such a way that you're achieving it all within one pen. So it just becomes so much easier and more manageable. So that's the basics of kind of how those tri-blends work. And I'm just going, now it's nice and moist, look at this, I'm just going over and bringing more kind of depth and shade in there to show you that lovely finish. Now what I do want to do is show you all the colours that we've got, because look at this. Made this fabulous board, well I didn't, I got Rachel to make it for me, just to show you all the different colours that we've got. So should I show you it to the overhead camera so you can have a good look, okay? So you can see, for example, in the red ones, we've got our dark, mid and light. So you can see there how we go from a really dark one, so this is, sorry, a really light one, this is dark red 1, right through to dark red 7 on here. We've done the same with the golden yellows, those are your lovely bright yellowy colours. You've got your dull green blend and your green turquoise in there. Those are your hydrangeas then, so lovely shade. And actually, if I move along, can you see you've got the hydrangea purples, and then you've also got the purple blends, and then we've also got the pink violet blend all within the purple. So 3 different colour families. Same if we look here at the green turquoise. So we've got the green turquoise blend, moves you into the blue turquoise blend, moves you into the true blue blend. And actually, whilst you're in the true blue, look, you can jump up one and go to the jade greens in there as well. Same if we move down here a little bit. So now you're getting into like your brown greys and your golden browns, moving across to your more earthy colours. You've got your skin tone colours in there as well. There's your fair skin. Here's your tan ones down here as well to work with. So you can see we're only doing one set of the tri-blend brush. We're only doing one box set. And that box set of 24, you know, like with the other tri-blends, we do 2 box sets. We do the starter and we do the kind of extender pack. We're just doing the 1 box set with the tri-blend brush, and we've given you that real breadth of colour that you need across all of them. But I will warn you that stock update that Joe gave you at 10% gone, that is everything we have left in our warehouse.
20% gone now.
20%
A fifth of the stock is now gone.
Okay, I fully expect, if you've been sitting on the fence about the tri-blend brush, I fully expect this bundle of tri-blend brush to sell out. We will still have, I don't know if I've got them, you might have them, the 3 packs of the tri-blend brush. So if you want to just go for the 3 packs, absolutely. But if you want the biggest saving and the best deal, you've got to go for the 24 pack. And of course, because we've got Baz in today, we are giving away a free discovery kit with every pack of 24 tri-blends. Whether you go for the brush, whether you go for the regular tri-blend pens, you get a free discovery kit. And if you've already got this discovery kit, this will make one of the best Christmas presents. Get them, put them away. Whether it's this one, any of the discovery kits, they make absolutely the best gifts to get somebody new into a new craft.
They do indeed. We only have a finite amount of that discovery kit load to give away, and we don't have an awful lot of the brush pens available. If you want the big configuration, which is how you get the best value for money, of course, $79.99, $119.95. You can get your Club Inspired discount off of that as well, which is amazing. Very, very busy start to the show. Right, we're going to go over and we're going to meet the man himself. Before we do that, though, don't forget you can win some of Baz's artwork. So what you've got here is one of them. All you need to do is you just need to comment away, and comment away you are. If you've got questions that you'd like me to pop to Baz, now is the time to get them into us. Baz, it is an absolute pleasure to have you in the studio with us, to share with us some of your expertise. How long have you been colouring for?
Probably around about 4 years, to be honest. I started drawing, you know, since I left school. I put it down. I was always quite artistic at school, but 30 years later I picked up the pens and then started drawing the mandalas, saw the massive range of colours in the Spectrum Noir colour range, and then started introducing the colours from there.
Awesome. So why do you think mandalas? What was it that sparked your interest about with those?
To be honest, I have quite a stressful job. I work as a prison officer, currently working as a prison governor. So drawing has always been a way to unwind for myself. And I actually found that creating mandalas was the most relaxing way to draw. So I took it from there, really.
Well, they're absolutely beautiful, Baz. I know they are gorgeous. Sarah, you've been admiring some of Baz's creations as well, haven't you? Aren't they just amazing?
They're phenomenal, and we've got them dotted all over the studio. People have been saying, should I bring this one in and show you this one? I absolutely love this one. To be honest, all of them, they're very, very clever. I had never seen 3D work. I don't know if there's like a movement of those of you that do this sort of thing, Baz, but I'd never seen anything like this before. But what I loved is that you'd made it accessible. So in that blended mandalas kit that Baz worked with us on, I'll just show you here, you get this Discover Blended Mandalas introduction. So you meet Baz, you find out a little bit more about Baz, and then he'll walk you through the tools that you're using. But then most importantly, you get this kind of basic instruction. Now this was brilliant for me. Do you want to see some of the ones that I worked on actually? This is my discovery kit from home and some of the ones I'd worked on. So you can see there, I was doing all right with the 3 dimensions. That was one. There's another one that I was doing a little bit of work on. I've really enjoyed playing with them, but I really wanted to get under the skin of it and learn how to do it in quite an advanced way, which is why I was so excited about the class today, because I feel like I'm going to go into this, they call it the Sarah colouring coma, Baz, and I go really quiet, and so it's great for me. They said to me, do you want to do the show with Baz? And I was like, no, Joe's got to be there. Joe will have to do all of the talking. I'll just go into my colouring coma and follow all your instruction.
Cool.
Right, so are there sort of golden rules then when it comes to mandalas? But is it something that anyone can do? Because I must admit, some people I think look at them and see how detailed they are and think, oh, I just wouldn't know where to start. Are there sort of basic ground rules when it comes to creating them?
Yeah, so creating a mandala from scratch, you need a few basic tools, a compass, an old-fashioned school compass, it doesn't matter what you've got, obviously some pencils because you will make mistakes, a protractor which can give you all the different angles and decide how complicated you want to make the mandala, and most importantly is a rubber and a pencil eraser for the mistakes that you'll inevitably make.
Awesome.
Or Or
as-
you could just get a printer and you
Yes.
could just print out all the ones that you've done for us, Baz. These are all the ones in this week's download. We can just print these out and just work through the tutorials that you give us and take them from being regular mandalas to 3D mandalas. So as much as that sounds really exciting with the protractor and the compass and the ruler and the rubber, I'm kind of thinking that sounds like my worst nightmare in maths GCSE at school.
Yeah.
Whereas actually, you've done the difficult bit, I'll do the easy bit.
Yes. Right, so on that note then, Baz, what do you fancy showing with us? I know everyone is really excited to get started at home. As I've said, anyone who's got any questions, get them in and we'll pop them across to Baz. But what is the first thing you want to share with us?
Okay, the idea is that what we're going to do is try and take a relatively two-dimensional picture, as you all have in front of you, and turn it into the 3D picture that we have there. Can you see that on the camera?
Awesome, yeah, we can see that.
Wow.
So before I put pen to paper, we're going to do it in stages and everyone should be able to follow along. We'll just quickly talk about the light source. So as you can see here, I've got a little torch. Wherever you put the light, you want the shade the opposite way. So if I take it back to the original, the light source is at the top, all the shade and all the heavy line work is at the bottom.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So with this one I've got in front of me, I've just done some of the line work just to cut down on the time, but I'm going to use the slightly thicker pen, which is the 0.3, and just add some heavier line work in, which faces away from that torch light.
Awesome. Now, loads of love already for this show. Loads of people watching and commenting along. Monica saying, woohoo, I can't wait. Christine says, hello, Sarah, Joe and Baz. I've got the discovery kit. The outlining is amazing. Victoria saying, I'm so excited for this show. She's in North Carolina. Kay says, good morning, Sarah, Joe and Baz. Welcome, Baz, to our crafty group. We are a fun bunch, she goes on to say. Kathy saying hi, Baz, as well. The mandalas are amazing. A lot of you looking forward to Baz's demonstrations as well. Karen saying so. June says hi, Baz. Thank you for being with all of us. And Diana Cox saying as well, so excited for this show. Loving all of Baz's work. Baz has got loads of artwork with him in the studio, which we're going to have a look at as we go through the show. So here with the lining then, Baz, is there a sort of rule to follow when it comes to putting the lines down on the paper?
Not really. What I would say is do what works best for you. I mean, I tend to use the thicker lines first because then I always know where I need to put the shadow. But there's no right or wrong way really. The idea for me is just enjoying the product, and more importantly, enjoying the process.
So with the difference between the thick lines and the thin lines, is that you adding more pressure with the pen, or are you changing the pen?
No, so within the kit you'll have a couple of pens, and this one is the 0.3, and then I'm working with the 0.05. So I'll use the thicker pen just to create the thicker lines. But if you've only got one pen, obviously you could just adjust your line width with the finer one. But yeah, there's no real different technique. It's just literally the thickness of the nib. Awesome. And I guess with the download as well, don't forget you're going to be able to just go over those lines that Baz has created there for you. God Desire for me on YouTube says, I have my discovery kit at the ready. Tool Chicky 8 says, so excited, loving all of these techniques. And Betsy saying, so excited to watch Baz do his thing. He's so talented, isn't he, Betsy? He really, really is indeed. We're very lucky to have him in the studio with us. I can already start to see, Baz, all that depth and dimension that you're getting there, even just by laying down some of the lines. It's amazing, isn't it? How it starts to come to life. So there might be a few mistakes. I'm working a little bit quicker than I normally would for the benefit of TV, but sorry.
No, that's
Sarah
good.
Speed, I think. Sarah.
Oh, Sarah Speed. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
And Sarah is colouring along as well, so it'll be interesting to see how Sarah's is turning out there too. So with the light source then at the top, guessing the thicker lines though go towards the bottom, do they, Baz? That how you start to create that dimension? Yeah, exactly that. And that you can determine at the start of the picture wherever you want the light source. So I've left that in there, so they're opposite. But obviously, if you wanted the shading at the top, you just do it the opposite way. We love a lot of love for the little light in the comments.
Yeah.
I need a little light, Baz. All I've done is draw a big arrow on mine. It's really boring in comparison.
Well, that's what I would normally do, is just in pencil, just put a T for the top, so you know where the light source always is going to be.
Awesome, it's coming along absolutely beautifully. Laurie says, hello, really looking forward to the show. Elizabeth as well, the mandalas look so three-dimensional. Lisa's got hands on the tri-blend brush pens. Congratulations. Mariah saying the light source tool is such a great idea, so you know exactly where that light is coming from. And Robin saying, hello everyone, order the mandala discovery kit, love Baz's work. That was something I was going to say to you earlier. In fact, don't think that just because this show is now airing that it's too late for you. You can share this Facebook Live, you can bookmark this video on YouTube and place your order now, and know that when your discovery kit arrives, or your tri-blends or your tri-blend brush pens arrive, you've got everything that you then need to get yourself started, which is fantastic. So you've always got the inspiration there available to you over on the website. So has that been done so far with all the same pen there, Baz?
Yeah, it's all with a 0.3 pen.
Awesome, really great to see that starting to come to life. Jennifer saying she loves the step-by-step tutorial. It's Julie saying, please tell us about the torch he is using. That is just to indicate the light source, Baz, is that right? Yeah,
purely and simply just as a guide to see. Like, normally I wouldn't use that. Obviously I would just put a little pencil mark at the top, so I know that the shading always needs to be opposite that, really.
Awesome. There's like, I didn't realise until recently, Baz, just how many different mandalas there are as well. There's like loads and loads of different styles. It's one of those things that the more you seem to research it and look into it, or once you've seen them, you start seeing them everywhere, which is amazing. And they do seem to be particularly on trend at the moment.
Definitely. And the good thing about them, there is no right or wrong way to do them. So I don't really have a design in mind when I start. I just start with the compass, set the design up, and then it just grows organically.
And do you know what, I mean, I was looking through your Instagram, looking at some of your incredible work. How do you describe your work, Baz?
3D symmetry, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds fancy.
It does sound very fancy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I love it, Baz, because I would never have, I'll be really honest, I wouldn't know where to start drawing one of these. And if I'm being really honest, it wouldn't interest me drawing it.
No.
However, I love this part. So like having a go at advancing what you've done. So working with like the compass or whatever really wouldn't interest me. But I'm really liking just kind of getting a little bit lost and going over this. And I had done a bit of a Sarah jobby, and I'd been going really fast, and I started going out the lines at first. And now I've slowed myself right down and decided to just kind of stop trying to rush. I've surprised myself with how good results I've started getting now.
Yeah, I'm a little bit the same as well at the moment. But yeah, one of the biggest tips I can give people is just take your time, enjoy the process. The longer you spend on it, the more accurate your results will be.
Yeah.
It really is amazing. It looks absolutely gorgeous. We can see what you're both working on at the same time. They're from slightly different angles, but it is looking absolutely amazing. Do you remember the first time you drew a mandala, Baz?
Yeah, it was around about 4 years ago, I think. I did it sort of using plates, pennies, just different size round objects, and drawing around those.
Wow. And now, you know, fast forward 4 years, and you're creating these amazing works of art, which is absolutely incredible. Oh, how long have you been working with the Spectrum Noir products? Because I know we sort of saw you, didn't we, on Instagram, and all of the wonderful things that you were doing. And that's how the sort of collaboration started.
Yeah, so I saw the Spectrum Noir illustrators actually in a local hobby shop, purchased some of them and started, you know, experimenting with the depth and the different colours, contacted by somebody at Spectrum Noir. And
that's us!
Yep.
We spotted you and we got on it, Baz.
Yeah. I love the products, and then it was just a natural progression then, really.
Lauren Miller's asking on Facebook, Baz, how long does it take you from start to finish to create and colour a mandala on average?
It really depends on the complexity and the size of the design, to be perfectly honest. There's no set time. I quite often, some of them can take sort of 5 to 6 hours. Some of them may take 40 plus hours, depending on the size of them. So what I generally do is if I start one and I get a little bit bored of it, I'll start a different design and I'll pick it up at a later date.
So how many would you say you've got on the go at the moment?
I think I've probably got 3 or 4 on the go at the moment.
Awesome. Do you find yourself going through sort of like a run of certain styles and colours? Do you get favourites for a little while and then you sort of mix it up again?
Yeah, I generally like the blue tones and the turquoises, all the sort of the ocean colours really. And for those of you who don't know, I've just switched to the finer, the 0.5, just to go for the lines that are actually facing the light source.
Okie doke. It is absolutely enthralling, isn't it, watching Baz work? I love it. Loads of you still chatting away. Deanna saying, look how 3D that is already. It is absolutely mesmerising. It is. Remember as well that you're going to be able to save this. You're going to be able to come back and watch this at any time. So don't feel like you need to remember all of this. It'll always be on our website, so you can always go back to craftscompanion.co.uk.com.au and watch it there. If you want to, you can share it on Facebook, and that way you'll always find it, access it easily from your Facebook profile. Or what you can do is if you're on YouTube, you can save the video, of course. And that means if you're ordering the Tri-Blend brush pens today, or the regular Tri-Blends, or you're going for one of the Discovery kits, you can have it all there ready to go when all of your kit and product arrives, which is great. How are you getting on, Sarah, over there?
I am totally lost in my own little world. And do you know what's really nice is, it's very different to my colouring world that I usually get lost in, Joe.
Right.
So usually when I'm colouring, I can't chit chat with you as well because I have to be concentrating on what I'm doing. As you find when you sometimes ask me a question and I just
and you just go, yep.
Yep, whatever. Whereas this, actually, I'm just quite happy just because I'm tracing over the lines, because there's nothing for me to think about. You can just get a little bit lost in what you're doing. You're not having to kind of like go through and think about everything that we're doing. I'm just following. Baz did all the hard work, and it's got, you know, it's going to be brilliant for me because I'm struggling to watch what I'm doing and watch what Baz is doing. I keep looking back up at the screen, so I keep doing that. So actually, if you're at home watching and you've kind of given up on doing it along live with us, just have pity for me, knowing that I have to do it along live in the studio because this is what I've set myself up to do, where actually I'm going to go home and take this class on my own at home in my own time, where I can watch the screen and keep pausing it to kind of see what's going on. So you might enjoy more watching this and then coming back to it a little bit later.
And then also remember, of course, if you're going for either of the Tri-Blend pens, I need to let you know a third of the stock actually of the Tri-Blend brush pens are gone already. Very, very busy there. You're going to get the Discovery kit, and now within the Discovery kit, as well as this tutorial from Baz, what you're also then going to have as well is you're going to have the explanation in there as well. You've got that worksheet, that information in the Discovery kit that Baz has put together as well about how you do things like the light source and how the whole thing builds up and comes together, which is really, really awesome. And loads of Baz's work is here in the studio with us, and I think Baz is going to share some of that with us as we go through the show. Remember as well, 2 pieces of Baz's artwork to be given away, which will happen and it'll be to people that are just commented in the show, either on Facebook or across on YouTube. So all you need to do is drop us a comment in either of those points. Now, Baz, that looks like it's coming together really, really quickly over there.
Yep, so the idea is that, as you can see from this one, which is fully finished at this stage, is the light shining from the top. You've got finer lines at the top, and then the thicker lines are at the bottom.
Awesome. So do you have to blend from the thick lines into the thin lines? So especially like I'm thinking around the outside element, do you go, is it like a join, or do you have to, how do you transition from the thick pen into the thinner pen?
So what I generally do, as you can see from the close-up, is the lines actually aren't that sharp at the moment with the thicker pen. I'll put them in, and then I'll come back to the fine pen, and then I'll use the fine pens just to get those lines nice and sharp and blend nice and tightly.
Awesome. Right, well, we are going to come back to Baz in just a few minutes. I need to remind you about both deals that are available to you on the show at the moment. So what we've got, of course, are the brand new Tri-Blend brush pens. 24 pens in there, which gives you 70 72. And if my maths is shocking today, you'll have to forgive me. But what you're also going to get, so you're going to get a great deal on there as you always would, $79.99, $119.95. We're then going to give you as well the 12-piece blended mandala discovery kit as well as a little gift, because of course that is what Baz has put together. You've got worksheets in there, you've got pens, you've got the outliners, a couple of outliners in there too, and all of Baz's knowledge in that workbook in there for you as well. Very, very busy on that though. As I said, over a third of the stock now has sold out and gone. Now maybe you're going to go for the original tri-blends, then absolutely you can. We've got those available for you on the show today. It is the deep blends that we've got for you, and again that's going to come with the free discovery kit, which is awesome. $79.99 or $119.95 if you would like to go for that one. If you want to go for some of the art liners, maybe you've already got some of our tri-blend markers, but the art liners are what you need in order to start this project. We've got them £10 or $13, saving a fifth, which is awesome. You get 6 of them, and they're all in varying sizes for you to work with. They've been out of stock for a long time, our art liners, so it's lovely to have them back in a show. If you are looking for somewhere to store your tri-blends, we also have the pen storage trays on the show for you. There's a 2-pack of them just here, $5.99 or $8.49. That's a half price deal as well, which is awesome. Now, we also have the discovery kits. Now, it is Spectember over on our website, which means there's a lot of promotions for everything Spectrum Noir. And one of them is our discovery kit. So you can actually get 20% off the discovery kits. Now, you do have to enter a promo code when you get to the checkout. Now the promo code I believe is Discovery20. So just pop that in at the end, you'll get 20% off of that price that you see there. So you'll get another $3 off of that, which is absolutely fantastic. Very, very busy show, loads of questions coming in. Any questions that you've got, of course, for Baz, pop them in to me. I'm monitoring the conversation on Facebook, so on the Crafters TV Facebook Live in the comments section there, and then also over on YouTube we'll pick those comments up too. Now I know we've got loads more sections coming up with Baz, which is going to be super fun. Sarah, how are you getting on over there?
Absolutely brilliant. I am totally lost in this, Joe. This is just brilliant. I'm actually wondering if our Oliver might be able to try this as well.
Really?
You know, because it's not, you're following the lines, so I think he would actually be able to do that, just follow the lines round. Now, what I would be really interested to ask Baz is, obviously I'm using the 0.1 and the 0.3. Do you ever use the brush tip ones, Baz, or just the very fine liners for this?
I generally use just the fine liners, but there's no reason why you couldn't use the brush tip at all. It's the same principle, just how much pressure you put on there will just determine how the thickness of the line.
And then, now I know the answer to this question, but I think a lot of people watching might not, so it's important to kind of explain. So if you want to colour with the tri-blend pens or any alcohol pens, you couldn't just draw with a regular pen, could you not? You need to use a special type of pen that's not going to interfere with the alcohol, so that when we then come to colour over this, it's not going to smudge. Yeah. And that's what's special about the art liners.
Yeah, exactly that. The pigment in the art liners means that they're not going to smudge when you use the alcohol ink above them.
Oh, I like that I dumbed it right down, because I didn't know why. I knew that I shouldn't use regular pens, but I didn't know why it was. So it's the pigment in the pens.
Yeah.
I should know something like that, shouldn't I? So that's good that I now do. Thanks for that, Baz.
And remember, the outline is available for you on the show. The correct outline is in the discovery kit for you as well, which is wonderful. So you've got everything that you need to get yourself going. Loads of people commenting away. I love the line work, says Nancy. It really changes the whole perspective of the drawing right from the start. Diana Vieira says, thank you so much for this show. I love the mandala kit and I'm enjoying this so much. Tracy says, just the outlining alone is making such a huge difference. Elizabeth says, well, I bought the discovery kit, but I haven't attempted it yet. Watching, getting inspiration, loving Baz's work. Promise me that you'll crack it out during or after the show, Elizabeth, and start to work from it. Right, I know Baz is going to take us through the next step as well. So where do we go? Once all those lines are down, Baz, where do we go from there?
So now we're going to introduce some colour. So we're going to use the tri-blend brush. As you said, we're using the jade green. In this section, what we're going to do is just focus on the basic colouring. So that's any image or any part of the image that you think would be flat or angled. You just colour them in a solid colour. So it's just basic generic colouring. So we've got one here that I'm going to colour in as you can see. And then that's basically just before we get to any blending of the part of the mandala.
So how do you determine which are the flattened angled bits? How do you arrive at that point?
It's kind of just looking at, if you can imagine it as a 3D object, anything that would be a flat surface is what you just use a single tone on. So there's not actually any blending in this section.
Awesome.
Are you on the mid colour there, Baz?
I'm on the light colour for this one.
Colour.
And I guess, Sarah, these brushes great because they lay down, for especially these bigger, wider sections, they lay down a lot of colour, don't they?
Well, they're brilliant because so I'm using like the fine tip to get into those little fine edges, but then I'm also using the wide brush nib to cover some larger areas at the same time. Because I like to do everything efficiently, Joan, with speed.
Yes.
And this kind of gives me the opportunity to do that. So I'm totally. This is. I hadn't done this to this level. So one of the things I think I'd got wrong when I was doing the blended mandala kit is I was doing some of the colouring first and then going in and adding the thicker lines over the top afterwards.
Right.
Whereas actually this way, it's much more forgiving and easy to come up to. And it's nice because I'm going right up to that pen line and I'm not worried that I'm going, that I'm going to, infect the nib of my pen or anything like that. I'm just going straight over it. And I will say I know I love me tri-blends, but these brushes in particular are just fabulous. And I am going to be doing some techniques. So while Baz because obviously it's quite a big mandala, so what's going to happen is Baz's going to explain some bits, and then in between these bits, where he's kind of getting ready for the next one, I'm going to do some techniques with the tri-blends with you, so I will show you some of the techniques with them in a few minutes.
Awesome. How have you been getting on with these tri-blend brush pens? How long have you been playing with them for now, Baz?
So I've been playing them for about a fortnight, and exactly as Zara says, I love the fact that you can cover a lot of area with them. They blend really nicely, but you've also got that additional fine point that you can get into the corners and create lots of detail with them.
Awesome. That's coming along beautifully. So is it just that section there then that you're going to colour with that one colour?
Yeah, so just this section here, this last petal I'm now finishing, and then we'll switch to the darkest colour at the other end and just do the inner parts. So when you're adding colour, it's also good, as you'll see on the final piece, to leave some negative space, which isn't shaded or coloured at all. So I'll switch to the dark end, and then we're just going to colour in the centre part of the petals.
Awesome, and that is with that darkest shade. So we can see there, Baz adding that colour in to the shade. That's it, we can really see there what it's doing. And that's amazing that's just the same pen in a different shade that you've used there, and already gives it absolutely loads of dimension. So when it comes to then laying the colour, when you put the light source, I'm thinking out loud here, Baz, which this goes one or two ways.
Dangerous.
It's either really great and it's like a light bulb moment, we all feel enlightened, or everyone goes, oh, what a ridiculous thing to say. So when you're adding colour then, so the shading that you add in, or the light source, do you add shading to the colourings, or is it just the thickness of the line which creates the illusion of the light source?
No, you're exactly right. We will use shading at the end just to bring it to life. We'll use some shading as the last part, which is like the final stage.
Awesome.
So sorry, I've coloured the inner part. What we'll do is go to the mid brush and just do the outer part of the circle.
Right, got you. I'm managing to colour along, Baz. I'm managing to keep up with you.
Awesome. I love the way that we're able to see this all coming together. Helen saying, looking good, Sarah, love that colour. Debbie Holiday says she's gone for the mandala kit. Congratulations. Eleanor saying as well, I love this learning technique on the mandala. I've always wanted to know how to get them to pop. Well, now you know. Linda's saying as well that she loves to use these mandalas to Zentangle with as well, which is another great way of using them. Suzette saying she's just gone for that special tri-blend deal whilst watching the show, so she's very, very pleased with that. And Donna saying just how much of a difference the art liners make to the overall package. Carlene as well saying it's just absolutely mesmerising watching Baz work. It really, really is. When you are, do you do varying sizes of mandalas, Baz, or do you tend to sort of stick to one kind of go-to size when you're working on them?
No, I vary in sizes. I use from small ones to sort of ones that are A3 size.
Oh wow, awesome. And so mandalas, are they your forte and go-to, or do you sort of dabble in other sort of genres of colouring as well?
So, well, not so much colouring. I have done sort of photorealistic pencil drawings and coloured pencil drawings, but for me, the most relaxing process is what we're doing now. Like you said, I can create a mandala from scratch, but the bit with the protractor and the compass is the boring bit. Putting the line work in and colouring it in is the exciting bit, really.
Exactly. And the great thing is, remember, you can download the boring bit, as Baz calls it, from our website, because we've got that download for you. So pop yourself over to our website, craftscompanion.co.uk.com.au, and on the home page, actually, you'll see the Colour Me Happy logo. You can click there and download it, or you can follow the link which is along the bottom of your screen right now, which is going to allow you to download that there as well. That is looking awesome, Baz.
Okay, so we've done the flat parts. What we're going to do now is just look at what they'll still be flat, but they're kind of on an angle, and they're angled away from the light. So I've got the mid-tone. I'm just going to put that on these two petals that are facing slightly away, just on the bottom edge. And again, on this one here.
So that would be the element that would be in the shade, then I'm
Exactly
guessing.
that.
Yeah.
So if you can see that the light is shining on these parts, but these parts are slightly darker. And again, I'll do it on this one, which I think will be had a little bit of light on it. There
Awesome.
and there. But if you can imagine, these will be slightly more in the shade, so I'll go switch to the dark part. And then just do these two petals that are facing away from the light.
And I guess this really is the joy, isn't it, of having the three shades in the one pen, that you don't need to sort of try and match them up. They're there ready to go for you.
And the good thing about it is I've always learned that if you start light, you can always add the depth on afterwards. So if you don't worry about it, it's not as dark as you'd think it should be, you can just add that depth and darkness at the end of it.
Awesome, really starting to see it come together. How are you getting on, Sarah?
I am totes getting on, Joe. I am loving it.
Awesome. Everyone's loving it at home as well. In the comments, Kat saying, Baz, thank you for sharing all your expertise in colouring these 3D mandalas. They are awesome. Lots of questions coming in as well. Lauren's asking what paper Baz is using. I'm guessing it is the alcohol proof Nina cardstock. I'm guessing. Is that right, Baz?
Yeah, that is. The markers work really well on this card. There's no bleed. They blend really well, and they keep the same amount of colour that you get. I mean, I do use watercolour for some of my originals, but actually I would recommend for anyone that's getting into using markers to use the card that I'm using now.
Awesome. Also, Lauren says, Baz, do you have to add anything to protect the images from fading before you frame them? That's a really great question. That's from Lauren's asked that.
I don't generally, no. I find that they don't fade as much as people think they do. But if people are worried about that, what I generally do is keep the original image separate, out of the way, and just recreate a print of it, so you've always got that original colour.
Awesome.
So we're just about finished there. I could just blend a couple of the corners.
So you're leaving quite a lot of open space then at this point?
Yeah, just at this point, yeah. We'll do some of the blending in the next stage, where you actually start to blend the colours to get 3D images of parts of the mandala that are not flat.
Awesome. Okie doke, very, very busy on our tri-blend brush pens at the moment. Details there. I need to let you know 40% of the stock has gone up. We're only about 40% of the brushes. Yeah,
I haven't done my demo yet, Joe.
We're only about 40% of the way through the show at the minute too. Right, how are you getting on, Sarah, with yours?
I am doing great. Do you know, I'm sat here and I'm like, I am doing the colouring and watching the TV. So we've had to put a TV right in front of me where the camera is, so that I can keep watching what's going on and then doing a little bit more colouring. But hey, do you want to have a little look at where I'm up to?
Yes,
I'm
please.
looking all right there, aren't I?
I think it's great.
Yeah, and I can't keep colouring because I can't see what Baz is doing now.
Yeah, looks great.
So,
I can see it.
Thank you, Baz. Do you want to do a Sarah Zoom, Baz? Watch, I'll introduce you to the Sarah Zoom. Ready, we go. Whoop. Then you can have a really good look at how I'm doing.
Yeah, no, it looks really good.
Awesome. Don't look too close because I did go out the lines a little bit. But do you know what I found?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I found that when I coloured over it, it wasn't as obvious.
Yep.
So I kind of got away with it a little bit more than I thought I was going to.
Absolutely awesome. That is looking gorgeous, Sarah.
Yeah, I'm quite pleased with it.
Really
Quite
love
pleased with
that.
it.
Karen on Facebook says I could watch you two colour all day. Clarissa say as well, looking forward to getting to my own colouring coma as soon as this is done as well. Right, we are going to come back to Baz before he moves on to the next stage with those pens. Don't forget about the giveaway as well. So Baz is going to give a couple of bits away. He's going to give this. He's going to sign it for you as well and give away this original artwork that he's created, which is awesome. And also he's going to give away what he's working on during this 2-hour show as well. So both of those will be coming your way, which is awesome. All you need to do is just comment, whether that is over on Facebook in the Crafters TV Facebook live feed, or across on YouTube if you're watching us there. Remember as well, also you can at any point, if you want to, share this, so you can always come back and watch it at a later date. You can bookmark it as well if you're on YouTube, so you'll be able to see it. And if you don't do either of those two things, don't worry, it lives pretty much forever across on our website as well. Loads of you still commenting. Oh, I can't wait to see who wins that awesome artwork at the end of this show. Very busy across both of our tri-blend deals. The brushes though, they're the ones that I think are going to sell out first. Remember, you get the free discovery kit. We only have a finite amount of those. Now, Sarah, I know you're keen to show us just a couple of other techniques as well with these new tri-blends.
Well, yeah, I've had to switch up, because what I was going to do is kind of build up over the course of the show to some of the more advanced techniques with the brush. However, it looks like the brush is probably going to sell out maybe within the next half an hour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right to the end, Joe. You've seen the very basic blending that I did with the butterfly. You've seen the work that we do and how the brush nib works on the mandala. I'm going to show everybody how to do the gorgeous little doggy. And actually, if I show you overhead, can you see how it looks like he's got that lovely fur tone? So that's what you're going to do. Now, the stamps, this is from this stamp set here, right? And we've had this drawn specifically. If I just turn one of these over so you can see on the white, we've had these drawn specifically to work with our tri-blend brushes. It's just one of those stamps that you can really start and practice with. So I've got here, I've just stamped it out. I've taken some of the easy bits away, and I want you to see how we do that little brush, the kind of flicking techniques, okay? So first of all, I'm going to start with the lightest one, and Leanne's taught me to always anchor my wrist at the bottom and do this flicking up like this. Can you see? So it's natural to flick upwards. What's not natural now is to flick downwards. So what we would then need to do is turn it round, start at the top, and I can do all of that flicking down, and we're preserving the highlight in the centre here. So can you see it's still white in the centre? We can always add more in. So then I'm going to come in with the mid one, and we're going to do exactly the same. So we're just going to do that flicking, but not quite take the flicks as far as what we did with the lightest one. We do the same again, turn right over, and I'm going to start from the bottom and do that flicking up, but not flick it as far as what we did with the lightest one, Joe. And then I can do the same again.
I think I'm in a colouring coma now.
One. Are you in a little
I've fallen into it. I'm just
flicking?
watching you. I've sort of transfixed there.
And then you do the little flicks at the bottom too.
Awesome. Now, if you want loads of inspiration about the tri-blend blush pens, tri-blend, I'm really struggling with that today, aren't I? The tri-blend brush pens, there is a full Colour Me Happy that Derek and Leanne brought to you. So you can always go back and watch that back from a few weeks back. There's 2 hours, it was 2 weeks ago, 2 full hours on these brand new tri-blend pens, but you will need to think about them sooner rather than later, because as I said, well actually in fact now approaching half of the stock of these have gone. Been a long time in the works these as well, haven't they, Sarah?
A long time. I don't think you would quite appreciate, even if I told you, the work that has to go in to getting a product like this ready to bring it, the work that goes into getting the brush nibs ready, everything, Joe. It was an enormous amount of work. It was Leanne who did most of it. I'm not going to even pretend it was me, Joe, but which is why she did the launch show. And honestly, I mean, we were expecting them to be popular. We had no idea that we were going to be selling out of our 6 months worth of stock in the first, well, how long has it been? What was it, 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago since we launched them here on Craft TV. Yeah. Do you think as well, if someone already owned our original tri-blend markers, do you think that these new brush ones have a place alongside them?
100%. This is the journey, okay? So you should always be starting with the original ones, right? Because it's much easier if you're a complete beginner to be able to use the original pens for the control that you get on them, okay? Whereas I'm coming in now with the brush ones, and it's a little bit more work to kind of get used to the brush as it was, Joe. But I think it's definitely that kind of next level in terms of where your colouring can go. Or look at me, like I'm doing fur here. Whoever thought, if those of you who've kind of been following my crafting journey, who would have thought that my colouring would be advanced enough for me to be able to do this kind of technique, you know, this early on in my colouring career, I think we'll say, Joe. Nobody would have ever thought it.
And it does look awesome. I think, you know, the amount of texture that you're able to get with these is amazing. I know as well, a lot of you guys have already got these. If you've already got the brush pens you've been using, I'd love to see some of the things that you've been up to or creating. Or do you know what? Maybe you're crafting along with, or colouring along with Baz and Sarah during this show with the mandalas. You've got that download sorted out. Maybe you want to share with us a couple of sort of updates and progress pictures as we go through your show. We'd love to see those as well. You can always email us with anything you've been up to. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk is where you need to send those emails into. Loads of them flooding in. And don't forget, questions, get those into me as well over on Facebook or YouTube, and I'll pop them across to Sarah and to Baz as well as we go through this show. He is looking at, I'm presuming it's a he. I think I just assumed that Shih Tzu's gender, Sarah, but it's looking fantastic.
Yes, this little Shih Tzu is called Elvis.
Elvis, you decided that?
I've decided this is called Elvis.
I'd have said it's more of an Ethel.
You would have said an Ethel, would you?
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's an Elvis. So I'm just telling you, it's my Shih Tzu I'm colouring. I'm telling you what he's called.
Fair enough. I'll get my own Shih Tzu and call it Ethel.
You do just that, Joe. Right, so that is colour. That is doing a little bit of that kind of flicking technique as it was, okay? I'm going to do a little bit more on his head, and then when we come back to me a little bit later on, I'm going to do a little bit more work on the showing you how to do like tones on dresses and things like that. But do you know what I want to do before we go? I just want to walk you through those colours again. Is that
yes,
all right?
please.
Right. So I've got the board here. We'll have to like zoom out so you can have a look at everything, okay? So I'm going to show you it on the overhead, but I want you to understand how and why we put the colours together the way that we did, okay? So for example, within the reds, we've put the dark red blend, which is your DRs, but then we've also blended into the corals. I love working with the corals. I do loads of work with the corals. So it's a different shading to what the dark reds are, but we've got those corals. Do you know what I've realised? I think I'm going to show you, Joe. Might be easier to show you these colour charts over here.
Oh, yeah.
Much as I love my pen. See if you can get up nice. See if you can get it nice and close on me little colour charts instead, and I'll walk you through these, right? So I'm talking about the fact that we've got the dark reds. They're brilliant, but then the corals give you a different shade, and I do a lot of like poppies. I do with a mix of the dark reds and the corals, okay? Then, whilst you're still in the kind of reddy shades, we've done burnt orange and the golden yellow. So you can see how they all work. Different colour families, but all work together. These triangles on the left, by the way, show you like 1, 3 and 5. These show you them shaded all the way up. So those are your reds in there. Then we've got your greens, your citrus, the alpine, the light green and the dull greens. Very, very different green families. And if you were to take an alpine green and try and blend it with a dull green, it would look a big mess. That's why we've put them in the same pen in the same colour family. You've got then your turquoises, so you've got like your jade greens, and then the green turquoise and the blue turquoise, which are totally different colour families, and your true blues. That's just half of them. You also have your purples, obviously the ones that I'm the most interested in. So your purples moving into the pinks. Then we're into our brown shades. So within the brown, you've kind of got the earth brown and the golden browns. I use these for hair shades an awful lot, Joe. And then we've also got your skin ones. So I use tan for skins quite a lot for darker skin tones, as well as the earth browns are brilliant for your darker skin tones. And then your fair skin on there as well. So those are all of your kind of shades and colours. And I'm going to go back to doing Elvis and colouring Elvis in. Yeah, and you're going to lose me.
Elvis is alive and well. He's here in the CTV studio, it seems. Now, I need to let you know half the stock of the Tri-Blend brush pens have sold out and gone. I knew it would be busy. I didn't think it would be quite this busy. We're not actually just under halfway through the show. Half the stock gone already. A lot of people have those sat in their basket at the moment as well. Remember, not only are you getting the Tri-Blends, you're getting 24 pens, which gives you 72 shades, 72 nibs in there, which is amazing. And when you think about the quality that you're getting here, you're also going to get the discovery kit as well, that blended mandala discovery kit included for free, which has a value of $11.99, sorry, or $15.95. So do make sure you grab that. Now, as Sarah did say that she thought that the original tri-blend would be your starting point. So maybe you are new to this. Maybe, I reckon there'll be a lot of people, you know, Sarah, that went for the Discovery Kit when we launched it and are now coming back and actually going for a full set of tri-blends or a full set of tri-blend brush pens. We've got for you the deep blends on the show. It's a 24-piece collection for you again. So it gives you all beautifully grouped together in those colour tones to give you the light, the medium and the dark shade to allow you to get that seamless blending. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're going for the tri-blend brush or the original tri-blends, everyone will get that Discovery Kit included totally free of charge as well, so you're getting that in there, which is awesome. $79.99 or $119.95. You can use your Club Inspired discount on top of that as well, which is absolutely awesome. Very busy on both the brush and on the original there as well. How's Elvis coming on over there, Sarah?
He's looking great, and also I'm just quite enjoying the fact that I'm doing all that flicking, Joe. I'm really enjoying the flicking side of it and getting that blend, because I always do all of my colouring is all kind of blended. So it's nice to try something a little bit different as it was. Because watch, if I just blend this instead of flicking it so you can see the difference, if I blend it around the top, it still looks great, don't get me wrong, but it's a completely different kind of look to what you get if you're doing the blend. So can you see I'm trying to get an ombre from dark to mid to light, whereas actually that's not what we're after with this. We're after a fur effect, which is why I'm only doing his little bit of his head, because then I can go over and give it a bit more flicking technique so that we're going to see. There, can you see?
Yeah,
so that's a lovely, it's like a nice ombre. Oh, we've gone right round there. Look, it's a nice ombre on there, but we aren't after the ombre, because dog's hair doesn't look like an ombre like that. It's got that fur effect, that flick. And if you look at the one that we finished there, you can see it just looks like the light goes right across. All the time we're flicking up, and then coming to the other side and flicking back down, starting with the light colour and building up layers of colour on top of each other. And I just think honestly, the pens are absolutely spectacular for that, Joe.
Awesome. Questions coming in as well for you, Sarah. Carol says, which technique is best for the brush pens? Dark to light or light to dark? So she says there's a bit of a difference between the butterfly and the dog. What one? I guess does it depend on what you're working with?
Yes, so I always like to work everything dark to light, right? However, because I'm doing the flicking technique with the fur, I'm layering up the colour. So watch what happens. I'm going to spoil my dog here, and I kind of don't want to do that, but watch what happens if I do it dark to light, okay? So let's start with the dark one first of all and do it round the bottom here, all right? So there's my dark. And then watch what happens when I go over top of it with the mid. See, the mid, because we're flicking, it's going to bleach out the darker one, all right? So can you see it's done all that bleaching? And then when we come in with the lightest one, it's actually going to bleach out even further that light one. So, and I think what I'll do is I'll do a Sarah Zoom special on this one. So can you see there how his beard looks really light, and you've lost the definition in the fur, because what we've done is, when you think about it, with your alcohol pen, you are always bleaching. The lighter colour bleaches out the darker. So if I bring that butterfly back in that I was working on, Joe, here it is. Let's do a little bit more on the butterfly, and I'll bring in another shade. So let's use those lovely green turquoises. So again, if I'm starting here, look, I come in with the darkest one, where actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the darkest one, and I'm going to put quite a bit of colour and depth in there. Then I'm going to come with the mid one and go over top of the edge of the dark one, because we're trying to get the ombre effect. So it's just a different kind of look where we're trying to get that blend. And then I'm going to bring it out a bit further. Then I'm going to come in with the very, very lightest one and go over that dark one again, because we're trying to bleach out the edge of the colour. So we want the bleached effect because we're going over it. Whereas when we're doing the skin, the dog's fur, we don't want that bleached look. We're not looking for the ombre. We're looking for definition, as opposed to a perfect blend and ombre where you can't see the definition in there. So that's the kind of different reasons. Just think of it always as the lightest colour bleaches out the darkest one. Not like normal felt tip pens where the lightest colour, you just wouldn't see it on the dark one. It bleaches it out in this case with the alcohol pens.
Awesome, that's good to know. Karen also asked, are brush nibs replacements available for the tri-blend brush pens?
I don't know if we have them at the moment, but yes, we absolutely can do that. So I'll totally look into that with the team. They are all refillable as well. We get asked that a lot. So we do all the refills now in every single colour. So you can just get the refill colour that you need. I tend to use the light colours more than the dark. So I refill my lighter ones. I haven't refilled many of mine if I'm honest though, but some of the lighter shades is what you'll refill a bit more.
Awesome. And also one last question. Katie says, is the brush in the tri-blend the same as the brush in the Illustrators?
No, it's not quite. So the brush in the Illustrator is a very, very, very high-end brush. Honestly, the brush in the Illustrator pen costs more than the whole tri-blend pen. It's that level. It is an artist quality brush nib. The brushes that we've put in the tri-blend, if you are like me and you're a crafter, not an artist, you probably won't be able to tell the difference between the two, because I struggle to. But an artist knows the performance of a brush quality nib at that end, which is why the Illustrators is significantly more expensive still than even our brush nib one. So these aren't an Illustrator tri-blend brush. They are they're still at the colouring skill of our Spectrum Noir pens, but we've got that brush nib in there.
Awesome.
Great
Good to
question,
know.
though.
Tracy says, I've got both sets of the tri-blends now and I love them both. Mandala kit is on order and I've got the downloads to have a colourful evening as well. Sounds like you've got a great evening plan there. Now remember, $79.99, $119.95. If you want to go for those tri-blend brush pens, very, very busy on them. A very recent launch as well. And once this configuration has gone, I think it's going to be quite a wait until we can get that back in stock, so definitely grab them now. Now loads of pictures coming in. We absolutely adore it when you send pictures into us. Susan Reynolds has sent this one in. Oh, Sarah, that is gorgeous, isn't it?
Oh, Susan, look, hey, she's gone straight in there for one of the advanced ones. Well done.
Absolutely, it's really gorgeous. Rose as well. She's been using some of the stamps that are available in this show.
Oh yes, Rose, that's brilliant, because we did the cat for the fur as well as the little Shih Tzu dog. Oh, look, Rose has done another lovely little dog as well. Have a look at this one too, on a Z fold as well. Rose, I'm very impressed. You know I love a good Z fold card.
Absolutely gorgeous. Keep getting your pictures into a studio at crafterscompanion.co.uk, and we'd love to share even more with you. Right, we're going to head back over to Baz. So we did the line work, we did the sort of flat colouring. Baz, where are we going next?
We're going to my favourite part, which is the actual blending of the tri-blend brushes. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try and get all the edges that are either curved or non-flat to actually show a kind of gradient. So before I go to start working on this piece, I've just got another tip that I would give anybody doing any shading, which is to create your own colour chart on the same kind of paper that you're going to do your design on. So as you can see, this is all the tri-blend brushes, and I'm doing the same as you there, Joe, getting my words muddled up. There's actually 72 separate colours, but you can see, as Sarah said earlier on, how they gradient into each other. So I would recommend that anybody does that before they start working on their own design.
Awesome, top tip.
And then going back to the question that was raised earlier on, I tend to work light to dark, but I'd swap them around a little bit. So as you'll see on here, I'll start with the light one, and we'll do the outer edge first, and just flick it up just over halfway. Again, colouring just in the sort of halfway stage, and then flicking it up. And then I'll switch to the mid-tone.
It's awesome, isn't it? It's so good to be able to see it to come together. So how do you decide then with this outside edge, Baz, what tone goes where, if you will?
So it's all to do again with your imaginary light source. So obviously the further away from the light source, the darker the shade should be. So as you can see at the minute, before I've done any blending, there's quite a definitive line between them. We want to try and get rid of that, so I'll go back to the light and then start blending that in, and then you should see a nice smooth transition there. And then I'll do the exact same thing with the darker tone to the mid-tone. So I'll go to the bottom of the mandala with the dark tone, shade it in at the bottom. Again, don't worry if there's not a smooth transition at this stage. And then switch back to your mid. There is a, you know, switching backwards and forwards of pens, but it's worth it in the end. And then you can see that the dark blends into the mid-tone, and there should be a relatively smooth gradient on the outside of that mandala there.
I still find it magical that they blend so seamlessly into each other. I know I've seen it a million times now, but it never fails to amaze me how well these blend, Baz.
Yeah, they blend really well. These tri-blend, both the brushes and the pens, they blend really well. So I'm going to do the outer edge here, so we want this one to face away from it, but we want this one to appear that it's slightly curved inwards. So we're going to do the dark at the top there and the dark at the bottom there, and then gradient them out as you can see here.
Awesome. Make sure you keep getting your questions in. Any questions you've got for Baz about any of these gorgeous techniques and tips he's sharing with us, drop them in over on Facebook, on the Crafted TV Facebook page, or of course on YouTube. You can pop your comments into us there as well, and we'll pop them across to Baz. Sarah was looking intently before she set off. It seemed like you were a bit of a knowledge sponge there for a moment. I sensed, Sarah.
I was doing a non-Sarah trick there. I was actually taking my time and watching what Baz was doing before I embarked on my colouring, because I wanted to make sure I did it all right. Now, I blend different. I like to go dark to light with mine. So I've just done mine slightly different to Baz. Same end result, slightly different technique. So I start with the darkest one. Then what I've done is I'm going into the medium one so that I can go over where that dark one finishes and blend into that mid one, and then I can get the blend straight away. So basically it's less changing of colours. And where Baz talks about the gradation, what you're doing is essentially you're laying down that darkest shade as it was, and then the lighter colour is always going back over the top and bleaching it out. So you see there, I've got the medium one, and then I'm going to come in with the lightest one, and where I go over the edge, it bleaches it kind of backwards into the other one. So I can get that lovely blend and transition going right through.
I guess it's just what you used to and the way you work then, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's just, I'm trying to take the principles of what Baz is doing, but then make them work for the way that I colour as well. And the thing is, I colour different to Leanne as well. So right. She'll teach you a different way to me, but actually it's Leanne that taught me to colour. So I think everybody gets that kind of different feel for it as it was. Let's have a little look, Baz. I need to have another good look at yours, see how we're getting on. So I'm going to start right at the bottom.
So how you've done that one on yours is perfect. So you're basically going to try and mimic that with the outer ring.
Yeah.
And then on the inner ring, you're going to try and get the darker shade at the top.
Got you.
Oh, it really does start to give it. I was a bit confused, I must say, when I say you start putting the dark shade at the top side, Baz. I was like, oh, yeah, but that's not where the light is. My brain was going. But now you've put it in, I can see exactly what you meant you were trying to
It's one of them
there.
ones it's actually easier to show than explain.
Yeah.
And going back to what Zara said, there is no right or wrong way to do it. You know, whatever works for you is what I would suggest people do, rather than trying to follow somebody else's technique.
Awesome. So you just colour those two. So it's just the three different. So it was the outer circle and then the two inner ones there that you just have to colour to at this point.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to colour the centre of it in a moment, and I'm going to try and make that look like a spherical. It's one of my favourite things to do. But if you're happy, what I'll do is I'll just wait for Zara, and then we'll make a start then.
Yeah. Awesome. Right. We'll give Sarah a moment. Not that we're waiting, Sarah.
No pressure, but we're all waiting on me.
Have we got that countdown clock ready?
You see, and this is when I start going too fast.
No, don't go too fast. Don't go too fast. So Susie has been commenting along. She says, honestly, I've tried many ways to be able to figure out light sources in colouring. This explanation in this masterclass has totally made it click. So thank you for that, Baz, says Susie over on YouTube.
You're welcome.
Will saying, wow, it looks amazing. Lots of people loving it. Linda has sent us in a work in progress as well, which is looking
is Linda
awesome.
doing the class live with us?
She's doing it live.
Oh, Linda's done a selfie. Linda, I'm a fan. I'm loving it.
How does that look, Baz? Is she going well there?
Yeah, it looks really good.
Awesome. Rose as well saying over on Facebook, I love colouring. It is just so relaxing. It really is. I mean, I think Colour Me Happy has become our most interactive show of the week. I know one of your absolute favourites.
Do you know what I've decided though, Joe? This is like a different hobby again. So this isn't colouring, this is like mandala building. So it feels like a whole different, it's like an extension hobby on colouring. It's a little bit like this paper craft and then this card making, which is like an extension, not just paper craft, it's a specialist part. I feel like we're quite a specialist little bubble here.
I wonder if there's like a special word. Maybe if there isn't, Baz, you need to come up with one for like the creating of mandalas.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what that would be.
I reckon you could make one and trademark it. You'd earn a fortune.
Yeah.
I just need to let you know how busy it is on the brush pens. The brush pens are absolutely the star of the show. Over half core. Remember, you get the free discovery kit, $79.99, $119.95, or you can go for the regular tri-blends with the discovery kit as well. If you want to order either of those, pop yourself over to our website, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.au. Remember the art liners as well. The discovery kits on their own. If you use the code DISCOVER20, you get an extra 20% off of those too. Right, how are you getting on there, Sarah?
I am ready. Am I ready for the next stage, Baz?
Yeah,
Am I
I think
looking
you
okay?
are. So what we're going to do is get the big centre of the mandala and try and make it like it looks slightly round. So just before you start shading in, just create a little negative space at the top, which will hopefully act as a little bit of a reflection at the top. Looks a bit odd on its own, but if you just do that and then shade in the rest of that circle with the lightest tone. So I should add that as the most important bit.
I've never done that before, left a white space like that
Yeah.
and drawn that in. That's a brilliant idea. Joe is absolutely enamoured on my colouring. He's sat looking over at my shoulder, following everything that I'm doing here. I've never known you so quiet there, Remy.
Honestly, I know. It is amazing. I'm loving watching these all come together. I can't wait to see everyone's finished ones that they're going to send in to us as well. It's going to look great.
So before you can see that I've even added any of the different colours, hopefully that little white mark in the middle should just give it a little bit of a dimension. And then I'll go to the mid-tone and just round the outer edge, facing towards the light source. I'll just do a very fine line, tracing it round. But then towards the bottom edge, facing away from the light source, I'll put more of the mid-tone down. And then fill that in like that. And then the most important part is blending that in. So going back to the light tone and then making that a nice smooth gradient.
Do you know, Baz, I'd never done that before. I've done spherical shapes, but I'd never done something spherical where we'd taken it to a light source as well.
Yeah.
So that is something, I've learnt something there that I can use in my everyday colouring, not just my mandala colouring, that I think is really useful there.
Excellent. So then just you're going back to the dark tone, we just want to create that sort of dark outer edge. So just shade in the very bottom of that circle away from the light source.
Amazing. Benita's saying it's so relaxing watching you colour. Tessie says mandalizing. That's what you're doing, Baz. You're mandalizing.
Love it. Love it. I think you should be trademarking that, Baz. That sounds
Got to get
fab.
that trademark.
That's a great word.
There you go. So just blend in the gradients. And again, there's no right or wrong way. You can switch between the colours to get those transitions smooth. And as Zara said earlier on, if you want to go a little bit darker, you can wait for it to dry a little bit and then just add a little bit more of the darker at the bottom. And then hopefully you should get a bit of the round effect.
So we're seeing that there. So will you leave then? You'll leave that open space, which is at the top there, and that creates the illusion of the light source bouncing off, which is very clever, isn't it, Sarah?
Oh, absolutely. And like you said, you know, I'd never done that before. I've even taught classes on spherical colouring and never done anything like that before. So I love that idea. And you're right about kind of waiting for it to, I guess you wait for the alcohol to evaporate before you kind of move on to the next layer. That's what Leanne taught me. I get a little bit obsessive and go over and over and over. And she's like, you've killed it, babies. just take a breather, go and have a cup of tea, and then you can come back to it.
It looks good from what I can see. It looks perfect.
Awesome.
Oh, awesome. You would say that, though. He knows I'm a dragon. I'm going to breathe fire at him, you see, if he doesn't say nice stuff.
That's looking great.
I like that. Do you know, I'm looking at my own on the screen now, and I totally get that with the light bouncing off it now.
Yeah.
I hadn't, like I said, I'd never tried that before either.
It's looking brilliant. Now, how's Baz getting on over there as well? Let's have a little look.
Yeah, I think they're pretty much done for that stage of the blending. and then when we come back to the final stage, it'll just be about add and shadow.
Awesome. It's looking absolutely beautiful. Everyone loving it in the comments as well. Janet Oi, one of our regulars from Singapore, says, wow, this is amazing. How to colour and making the mandala look 3D is beautiful. Serenity say, love it, learning so much. And Katie on Facebook as well saying, Baz, you are a mandala master. Isn't he just? Remember as well, we're going to be giving away some of Baz's original artwork. You've got this one just here. And also what Baz has created live in the show. Both of them will be giving away. He'll be signing both of them for you as well. All you need to do to be in with a chance of winning either of them is just drop us a comment or a question either on Facebook or across on YouTube as well. On Facebook, it's the Crafters TV live Facebook feed that we're monitoring on YouTube. Our Crafters companion YouTube is where you'll find that. Angie Dixon saying, I'm really loving this. Mandala is amazing. Can't wait to get my markers and watch this on replay to follow along. That's a great point. Remember, if you're sharing this or saving this on Facebook, if you are bookmarking it on YouTube, you'll be able to watch it back once your product arrives. Or, of course, get yourself over to our website where all of our programs live pretty much forever. You can always come back and watch all of this inspiration back totally free of charge, which is awesome. Right, very busy on both the tri-blend the tri-blend brush. Why do I struggle with that so much? I've been struggling with it for absolutely weeks. Very busy. 60% gone here. It comes with a free discovery kit, $79.99 or $119.95. Also, we have the original and ever popular tri-blends for you as well. It is the deep blends that we've got. Again, that's going to come with that free discovery kit as well. Right, I know Sarah's got some more she wants to share with you on the tri-blends. Before I go there, I want to just remind you again about those art liners because they are proving very busy. You get 6 of them, which is an amazing price, £10 or $13 to get all of those, saving you 20% as well, which is absolutely awesome. So do make sure you grab those. Now, we also have the ultimate pen storage trays available for you on the show too. These are those clear ones. We don't have them in stock all that often, so definitely grab them whilst we have them. You buy one, you get one free, which is amazing.
Bog off, Joe, bog off.
It's amazing value for money. It really is. Right, Sarah, what do you fancy sharing with us next?
Right, come on, before those tri-blend brushes sell out, because this could be the last time I get to demo them for quite a while until the next shipment arrives. One of my favourite images. Got it on the show, right? So this is our, let me show you. I've got the Molly Harrison, right? The Molly Harrison artwork. It's called Poppies of Amethyst. But let me tell you, this dress to colour is off the chart, okay? So when you take it, I'm just going to show you, for anybody who's brand new to this, it doesn't, you know, it's got getting the pens maybe just does colouring, doesn't do stamping. These stamps, can you see how that looks a little bit more black than you would regularly have? That is totally normal. That's because these been well used, this one. But these are photopolymer stamps. So they aren't just regular acrylic stamps, they're photopolymer, which means you're going to get this gorgeous, fabulous, crisp finish at the end. And I'm going to use one of our Finesse alcohol-proof dies. So it's really important you get the ones that have a pen that look like our Spectrum Noir pens on them. This won't work if you were to use like the alcohol-proof die on here. Sorry, this is alcohol-proof. You would use the waterproof die and then try and stamp and colour them in with the alcohol pens. They're not alcohol proof, so they're going to move, which will be a disaster, for want of a better word. So you see, look at this one here. I'm going to stamp this down. I'm going to make sure I get her stamped all over. Don't want to miss any little bits and pieces. There she is, ready for me to colour with. Now, I've got another sheet underneath. Really important to get a perfect blend. I want you to have another sheet underneath. And I'm going to do a mix of my colouring technique and Baz's. I'm going to get you a little bit closer in up on the dress. So I'm going to use the blue turquoise this time. And what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to colour all of her dress in with the lightest colour, okay? So I'm just, doesn't matter if you don't get it perfect, I'm using the lovely, like the side of that brush pen, because we can get a huge lay down of colour all at once, and you can colour all of that area in really, really quickly. It doesn't matter that I haven't gone right down to the bottom and got in all those nooks and crannies.
Can you still put a decent amount of pressure on with a brush? I don't know, when I use them, I worry that I'm going to damage them by pressing down inside them.
No, I've totally just gone for them there, right? So I've gone with the lightest first. Then what I'm going to do is think about all the areas that I'd get the dark shade. So for example, you see this little bit here? That bit there, can you see, is behind. So that bit, even though I've got that brush nib, I'm coming right into the tip to colour that bit behind. Then on this next one, it would go right up the side. So just thinking about the folds of the dress. So I'm coming right up the side, the fold of that dress first of all. Then let's have a little bit think. This one here, it's definitely going to be darker down this side of the dress here, because can you see this part is in top of that part there. So again, I'm just going to come where it's a little bit darker and put that shading up there. What's the next little bit there? This one's going to be darker as well because that's behind. And I'm putting that dark shade. Now at this stage, Joe, you look at it and you think, oh my life, how is it ever going to blend? But trust me when I say all of the working out has been done for you with these pens. So we've already done all of that. What's going to work, what shades are going to work. So you can put that first colour down and know it's all going to blend. Let's have a look. I'm going to get these last couple here. So this one here is going to be on the top as well. And then this comes over top of this one. And there's all the dark colour in there. Right? Then we're going to go from dark to the middle tone. So I'm going to blend into the middle one. So I'm going to come down. So this is going to be slightly lighter. So I'm just going to come down a little bit with the mid one here, up this side here. And then with this one, I'm starting to use little circular motions. Can you see? And I'm going over top of where we've got that darkest shade. So that's how you get that perfect shading from one to the next. And Joe, that's about as much talking as I can manage.
I was waiting.
He was all poised.
That was amazing. I will say. Loads of people commented along well, saying it's great colouring. The colouring is so relaxing to watch. Loads of people talk about that as well. Stephanie saying amazing show. So many useful tips. Loving all the samples and demos. Lynn says I love the Molly Harrison images. This one is actually one of my favourites. So she's so pleased you're using that. Wendy Frederick as well said that Molly Harrison stamp is my favourite. I've just finished colouring one in. Well, do you know what, Wendy? You better pop us a picture in that case, hadn't you? studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. I'd love to see your interpretation of that stamped image. Bonnie as well. Bonnie's got a great surname, D'Agostino. What a wonderful surname. She says this is awesome to watch. I can't wait to get my tri-blends. Well, make sure you bookmark this or save this video so you can come back and watch it later. Elaine over on Facebook says I love the tri-blends and the mandala Spectrum Noir kit. And Michelle says I've learnt so much the last 2 weeks about colours in general. I truly had no idea. Thank you so much for these opportunities. Absolutely as well. If you've loved this Colour Me Happy, where we've had Baz with us in the studio as well, talking all things mandala, make sure you pop back to last week's show once you finish with this one if you've loved it, because Benita Malby was joining us via a video link up when myself and Leanne were here in the studio, so you can go and watch that show back if you so wish. Also, there's a fabulous weekend of shows still to come as well here on Crafters TV. Tomorrow there'll be a masterclass. It's a double debut day tomorrow. There's a masterclass in the morning. We've then got Craft House. We're welcoming one of you lovely lot to join us here in the studio as well, which will be awesome. And then Derek will be back with you on Sunday when Jan is back on Sunday as well. So make sure you join Jan for her first show back since March, which is very, very exciting. How are you getting on there, Sarah?
Awesome. I am just going, so where we'd have like the bodice of a dress, I like to have a little bit darker, and also underneath her arm there's bound to be like a little bit of shadow. So I'm just putting in that darker shade one again, and then I'm going to bring the lighter one. Remember, it bleaches, so don't go too far down, but it bleaches over the end of this one here. So I'm just bringing in a little bit of depth and shade down there. And then again, I'm going to come in with the very, very lightest one. I see if you can get a little bit closer still on what I'm doing, and then you can see it even closer there. And you can see there, just as I blend, it completely gets rid of that line, Joe, so that we've got that, can you see, you just get that dark and then right into the mid one, can you see? So there is that lovely light shade. And then there's something else I wanted to show you as well. So we've got that lovely kind of bleach and blend. I keep coming back to it. I let the alcohol evaporate a little bit more and then come back over it to just help it blend a little bit further. I mean, look at the shading in her dress there. Doesn't she look fabulous?
It is beautiful. Deanna as well saying, love the way Sarah is colouring that dress. So dramatic, isn't it? I mean, if you walked into a room wearing that blue dress, I mean, heads would turn, Sarah. I think it's fair to say.
Yes, maybe I do need a blue dress like this. I do like that one, right? What I'm going to show you though is a great technique on her wings to make her wings look semi-transparent, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the same. I'm going to work dark to light this time, just because it's, you know, we don't need to put a whole base of colour down. So I'm going to start here, and it's kind of a little bit like the flicking technique that you saw me do with the, you know, when we were doing the little Shih Tzu. So I'm putting the kind of flicks in there to start with. So there's my darkest one. And then also we're going to come right under here, so right in there. So the tips of the wings I'm going to do in a different shade, Joe, but I'm just trying to get in there. There we go, to all the purple. So we've got the little colour in here. And then the same, can you see there's some more wings again under here. So everywhere where we start a new kind of batch of wings, I'm putting some new colour in.
How amazing is that? Because I didn't realise there was depth and layer there until you've added that shading. Now I can see exactly where those layers are. That's so awesome, Sarah.
So there's that secondary colour. So I want a full-on blend. I don't want to see any lines in here. Not like when we did the little dog and we wanted to see the lines in the hair. So I'm going over and over and getting that lovely ombre effect on here. So there's my lightest shade, bleaching that out. And then, sorry, the mid one. And then I'm going to come to the light one. Now the light one is very, very light here in the hydrangea. So what you might want to do is bring it down and then come back in with your mid one just to get that blend going through perfectly. Can you see? So what you'll find is the wetter this is in terms of your alcohol pen, you know, so the more alcohol base you've got down, the better it will blend and bleach through, okay? So I'm getting that lovely, there's that transition that I've worked really hard to get there. You see, so you can't see now where one ends and the next one starts. I'm going to do exactly the same with this one here. So it just takes a bit more working. This is when your brush nib really comes into its own. I'm going over and over and over that. Same with this one here. And then I'm going to come in with that mid shade again and just blend down the lighter shade just when I've got more alcohol on that base and we can blend it through. So that's how you get that lovely ombre there in the purple. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in and I'm going to bring, let's have a look, I'm going to use the true blue. And I'm going to bring a bit of blue up from the bottom of the wings. So can you see it's a different shade again? And if I want to blend the blue to the purple, can you see what I need to do is I need to flick it in, Joe. So just like you saw me doing when we worked with the little doggy and we flicked in one colour into the next one, I flicked in that blue there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in. So there's a little wings there. I'm going to come back in with the darker shade. I'm going to switch it round and flick this out a little bit more so that we get that blend between the blue and the purple. So even though they're different colour families, look how we've blended the purple into the blue absolutely seamlessly.
Yeah, it's looking absolutely gorgeous. Everyone's loving it as well. Lisa says, Colour Me Happy can replace my evening cocktail. Wow. There's a testament.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I tell you what, if you had a cocktail whilst watching Colour Me Happy, I think you're absolutely winning.
Now there's a show we all want to get involved with.
Cocktail and colouring with Sarah sounds brilliant. I'll bring my shaker, you bring your alcohol markers. Sounds like we'll have a lovely evening. Lynn saying she's definitely in a colouring mood now. Lots of you loving it. Carla saying as well, I have always hated to colour until I discovered the tri-blends. Now I am learning to love it. So thank you all. You are more than welcome, Carla. And Angel's asking, are the alcohol pens good for fabric, Sarah?
Right, so yes, you can colour onto fabric with them and they're going to be permanent, but not if you want to wash with them, right? So if you want to then take it and wash it, no, they are not fabric pens. However, they are a permanent marker, which means they are absolutely going to allow you to colour onto fabric. That makes sense?
Awesome. Yes, you just have to be careful then, I guess, what you do with it after there.
Yes,
Nancy,
not for dry cleaning or washing or anything.
Absolutely not. No, don't put it in with your white undies. Nancy saying, I love the colour and all of the blending as well. Just beautiful. Remember as well, we're going to be giving away 2 pieces of Baz's artwork at the end of this show. So make sure you keep getting those questions and comments into us over on Facebook or across on our YouTube as well, where you can comment the way to win one of those brilliant pieces of artwork. Very busy on these tri-blend brush pens. I know you were saying, Sarah, there's going to be a little while, isn't it, until we can get this configuration, this big sort of bumper pack back in stock again.
Well, yeah, what we do is we stock the smaller pen sets really to sell to the shops. So a lot of the stores, what they do is they stock the little packs of 3 tri-blend brush or 6 of the tri-blend, okay? But when we're on Crafters TV here, we know that it's all the hardcore people that like to watch the shows, Joe. So we know that a lot of people are literally going to be watching the shows and are going to be wanting to buy them. And if you're in for a penny, in for a pound, we like to have them all, don't we?
Oh,
so
absolutely.
if that's you, then you need to get this set now, because literally we are going to have sold out of our big 24-piece set, and then once we've gone of that, you're literally going to be you're going to be waiting for the next shipment to be coming in.
Julia's saying she is all for cocktails and colouring. If you were going to have a cocktail while you coloured, Baz, what cocktail would it be?
Pina colada.
Oh, nice.
Oh, a man after my own.
There
Look at
was
that.
zero.
No hesitation. He was
Zero
straight in there.
hesitation.
Might have one or two after the show.
He knew. What would yours be, Sarah?
Hey, I think I fancy a pina colada after
you?
the show now.
Oh,
Yeah.
mine would be an Aperol Spritz, I think, today. I'm in an
Aperol
Aperol
Spritz. Are you in an
Spritz
Aperol
kind of
Spritz mood?
I
Yep.
absolutely am. Such great tips and techniques, says Christine Mahoney as well. Everyone's absolutely loving all of this inspiration. If you want some of those Molly Harrison stamps as well, what I will say is there were some in cartload yesterday with a 40% saving. So definitely pop yourself back over there if you want to grab some of those wonderful stamps. I'm not sure if that particular one was in the collection, but there were a collection of 6 or 7 and they were very, very popular. So do pop back over there and have a look at those. I love the way that you've used all the different colours there together, Sarah. I think it looks absolutely beautiful.
Well, do you know what I love about it? And I was thinking this when Baz was colouring with these earlier, Joe, right? It's the fact that to get a good result when you're doing your alcohol colouring, you need to be constantly switching between pens, because you need to be switching dark, mid and light. And the tri-blends just mean that you can do that so much easier than picking up 3 blends. And you could say, yes, well, I've only got to hold 3 pens. That's not a lot. Well, yeah, that's only 3 pens if you're just doing one colour. But if you look here, I've actually done, 4 or 5 different colours that I've been showing people here. So 4 or 5 different colours, yet all of the shading in each one of those colours I haven't had to think about. I've literally just picked up that pen and been guaranteed the absolutely perfect result.
It's absolutely gorgeous, really lovely. Love the red screens and the blues in there. I was going to say that you're out of time there with that, Sarah, but I know you're just going to carry on doing that.
I am just going to carry on,
So we won't worry about that. So you've been sending in pictures, which you know we absolutely love. Look, Wendy sent us in the picture that she just talked about just colouring that image in. I love Wendy's, look at that.
Oh, Wendy's nailed them wings.
Love the yellows as well.
I love what she's done, that little dotty effect on the wings as well with the blender pen. Fabulous.
Really beautiful. Rosalind's also sent a picture in for us as well. Oh, I love that. Really, really beautiful that Rosalind's managed to create just there. Keep getting your pictures in. We've got about 20-25 minutes left on this show, so we'll definitely have time to share some more of your creations. And remember, make sure you're commenting on Facebook and YouTube if you want to win that original artwork from Baz. This one and also the one that he's been creating in the show. Now, I was talking about the Craft House tomorrow. I'm going to be joined by Debbie. In fact, we're going to hear from Debbie. She's going to tell us all the details.
Come and join me this Saturday for Craft House at 4 p.m. on Crafters TV, where I have got my hands on the brand new Alphabet butterfly dies. Look how gorgeous these are. These are the kind of things that you're going to be able to create, so I hope you can come and join me and very special guest, because we're going to be having someone crafting along too at the same time. So don't forget, this Saturday, 4 p.m, Crafters TV. I'll see you there.
Oh, not just Debbie, it's a double Debbie day tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. She's going to be here in the morning. I always say that now because it used to be morning.
She's not going to be here in the morning.
No one's going to be here in the morning. It'll be morning where you are, but our first show is at 1 p.m. Till 3 p.m. That's what the masterclass that Debbie will be here for, UK time of course, and then 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. For that craft house, which will be absolutely awesome. Right, we're going to go back to Baz because I know you're going to share with us sort of the final stage, Baz, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. What I'm going to do now is just add some final bits of depth, which means basically creating some shadow on the design. So it's a bit like Zara said with the stamp that she was colouring earlier on. You want to get some shadow underneath the arm. well, we're going to try and make sure that we get the mandala a little bit three-dimensional. So if I just use the fine liner to point out the areas, what we want is this round section here to be raised and create a shadow underneath. And the same with the petals of the mandala, we want them to create a bit of a shadow. So I'm going to adopt Zara's technique this time and work dark to light.
Have I been teaching you something, Baz?
Learned something new today.
I'm quite excited about that.
So we'll just start shading underneath the circle, and again we're kind of blending it up because we want that light source to create light there, so we don't want to put any of the dark ink above that area there in the middle.
So when you're working like this, Baz, how with a circle like this, do you kind of mentally split it into like different sections, and how many different sections would you say there are when you do, if you do split it like that?
I kind of just split it to where I think the light source would be. So if you can imagine this torch light here, I don't know if you can see it on the screen, came all the way out shining a light, it would shine a light to this part of the circle. So everything underneath it should theoretically be in shadow. So again, I add the darkest bit first, then move to the mid-tone, just creating a bit of a gradient. And then I go back to the dark tone, so just to blend those two in. You can already see there's a little bit of a shadow underneath that circle there. And then what I'll do is I'll move to the light tone, but this is where I have to be a little bit careful, because if I start using too much of the light on these darker pieces here, these darker petals, it'll start actually taking the ink off. So I'm going to focus on where there's either no ink or where the ink is very light. So again, I'm just going to try and blend here on the white, around this little part here, getting that smooth grain again on the white, on this part of the petal, along here on the white, taking care not to really draw on the darker part of the petal, and then you can see that should create a bit of a shadow.
Yes, I can see that there. It's really awesome how effective that is. Are you following, Sarah?
No, I wasn't. So let's just all fess up on what I had to do just there.
Yeah, Baz looked very alarmed as you ran towards him there and popped your head round his monitor.
I literally had to go over. I had to go running over and peek over his table because I was thinking, is he colouring underneath that?
Yep.
So what I hadn't understood is he's underneath this bit, so not in the lines. He is literally going underneath this section here, and that, I'll be honest, I didn't dare just pick up the pen and do that because I thought we had to go inside the lines only, so it was quite exciting to go not inside the lines.
You feeling a bit rebellious?
I am feeling quite, there's not a bit about it, Joe. I'm feeling a lot rebellious, I'll be really honest. So dark, mid, light. Don't you love my speeded up technique, Baz, of how...
Yeah, but it looks perfect. I can see it from here. It looks really good.
Yeah, but isn't it? It's good when you do the dark straight into the lighter sorts one.
It's making me want to have a fried egg sandwich, you know. It's the dome on the top of the middle bit. It's reminding me of a fried egg yolk.
I thought you were going to say it's making me want to go home and have a go at doing some colouring in, Joe.
That's
what I thought was coming. I think I'll go and have a ham and egg sandwich.
You know me.
So, hey, I'm loving this idea. I would not have known to go over this bit there now. Oh, Joe, I'm now feeling quite excited. I now feel like I was doing it, and now I'm really doing it. Like now I would have been far too frightened to put that little bit of shade right under there.
Yep.
That's why I had to come and have a look. Baz, that is just between that and how to get the really domey look on the centre. I feel like I'm kind of nailing this 3D mandala
really
thing now.
So what we'll do next is we'll just add some shadow to the petals of the mandala. So again, we're going to start with the dark, and everywhere where we put the thicker line, which is the easiest way to remember it.
Yep.
So if you did a thick line, that's where you want to add a little bit of shadow. We're just going to put a little bit of the darker colour on.
Oh, this is my favourite bit,
Awesome.
Baz. This is my favourite bit.
This is almost like the reveal, this bit, isn't it? As you add that darker tone, you can really start to see that depth and dimension. It's really starting to pop off of the page, which is awesome. Loads of people loving this. Michelle says, Baz, your picture looks so wonderfully realistic. Jacqueline as well saying, oh my word, that is absolutely beautiful. Love the colour. And Judy saying, I love to learning how to colour properly. So thank you so much. And I guess really then, Baz, it is just about following those stages, isn't it? Knowing the rules, sticking to the rules and being methodical.
Exactly that. I mean, you'll see with the designs in the Discovery Kit, they're a little bit, some are a little bit more technical than the other, but the principles are exactly the same. And the good thing about the tri-blended pens is that you can create that detail with them, and you can shade into the little nooks and crannies, for want of a better word.
Do you know, it's so much easier with the brush as well, isn't it, than with the... I mean, it's lovely with the regular tri-blends, but because mine's a little bit bigger than yours as well, it's so much easier for me to work with that brush. I can see if you're doing the smaller one, it would be brilliant to do it with the... to do it with the fine tip pens.
Do you know what? And yours is looking really, really similar to Baz's, Sarah, I will say.
What can I say? I had a good teacher.
So we're just going to where the lighter bits at the end of the petals, you can just use the lightest colour just to get that blend, as you did with the other ones, just so there's not much of a strict line, for want of a better word.
Mm-hmm.
How much of your spare time would you say you spend working on, art and colouring, Baz?
It just depends. Sometimes it can be like 6 or 7 hours a week. Sometimes I don't get to do any, just depending on the hours I'm at work, but as often as I can, really.
Awesome.
So we've just done the main petals, and now all we're going to do is just these inner petals with the white edge and the dark centre. Mm-hmm. Again, we're going to just try and give them a little bit more depth. So working to where the lines are a little bit thicker. Start with the dark, just add a little bit of shadow.
So this is the bit, Baz, that I had not understood or appreciated or taken away from the Discovery Kit. This is the bit that I hadn't done anything with at all. And this is the bit that I really feel like is making my finished thing look more like yours and less like... This is what I was hoping to achieve from your class today, was learning how to take me that next level.
Yeah, there's just that final part that makes it pop.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, they're looking absolutely gorgeous.
We'll go to the medium tone.
Lisa on Facebook, her dogs are watching it and they're also captivated, so it must be good, is all I can say.
I bet they like my Shih Tzu colouring, that's all I can
they
say.
loved your Shih Tzu.
I bet they fancied little Elvis.
Julia says those are both amazing. Noala saying how stunning they are, she's absolutely engrossed. And Kay says, thanks Baz, hope he can come back again. So already requests in the comments for Baz there.
Oh, what can I say, Baz, you're in high demand, high demand.
And then because we used, on these petals, we used the lightest green. Again, we can go back and use the light green just to keep a nice fade in the shadow.
It's looking
without worrying
awesome.
about taking any of the darker ink off.
I think I'm following you, Baz. I got so engrossed in the bit that you just taught me that I started just looking at my own project, and then I have to keep remembering to look up at you.
It looks good from what I can see here.
It's looking absolutely beautiful. I'd love to, whether you're watching this along live with us or you're watching this back afterwards, someone's going to win this, don't forget as well. I'd love you to share with us the pictures of yours once you're finished as well. Obviously, maybe you're working a bit slower, and maybe if you want to come back and watch it, you can pause and of course rewind and go over it again, which is going to be awesome. How are you getting on there, Baz?
Yeah, it looks perfect. So just, again, reiterate that when you've added a tone, once it dries, if you use the same colour, so the dark on the dark, you can still actually get a slightly more depth there. So if we just cover along the thick lines, which will create a shadow inside of that petal, it just gives that little bit more dimension in the middle. I don't know if you can see that on the camera there.
Yeah, I can see that there.
Yeah, we had Tatiana with us a few weeks ago, who did the illustration discovery kit, and she taught us about like layering colours over top of each other several times. That's something I'd never done before again as well, so I'd never really done any of that any of that layering at that level.
It's looking gorgeous.
Yeah, it
And
looks
I think
amazing.
it's these little subtle bits that you go in and add at the end, isn't it? Which will
Yeah.
really elevate it to the next level.
Yeah. And then once you've done that, I'll just add one final little tip with if you go back to the art liners. Now, if you rushed it a little bit and you've gone over the line somewhere, if you go back to the art liners, you can start sharpening up some of the lines. So you can see there where I've gone over the edges slightly. If I just thicken the lines up slightly, it just sharpens everything up.
And this is funny because it's not. This is exactly what Benita taught us last week when we were watercolouring as well. Benita was using actually a watercolour pencil at the end to go back over the lines to give it loads of definition too, which was it seems like there's a few tips which seem to run through all the different styles of colouring, which is reassuring.
And you're going to spend as little amount of time or as long as you want on this final stage of just using the darker fine liner just to sharpen everything up. But hopefully you should see that on the camera.
How do you decide, Baz, when like enough is enough? Is it hard to know, like, right, that's it, I'm done, I'm going to walk away now?
Yeah, it's definitely very hard to do. My advice would be, if you think you need to stop, stop. And then you can always go back to it another day with a fresh set of eyes. But then hopefully that should be finished now.
Awesome, I think it looks absolutely amazing. Brilliant that we're going to give it away as well, which is also awesome. So someone in the comments, we're going to give that away to them as well. Let's have a little look. Oh, there we go. We can really see now just how gorgeous that, how brilliant is that, Sarah?
Fabulous. Do you know, and you can almost not tell the difference, Baz, between
looks the
yours
same
and
to me.
mine. What can I say? The sign of a good teacher.
There you go, looks exactly the same.
It's looking awesome. I can't wait to see everyone's at home and how theirs is coming along. Jan asks, Baz, do you ever use a white pen for highlights?
I do, yeah. There's something you can do if you colour in and say you forgot to add the little white bit in. Certainly, you can use a white pen over the top.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Awesome. Another great
And
tip.
actually, it's a good point she raised. Sometimes, if you do go over the edges, I think you might be able to see right in that top corner a white pen. It's a bit of a tip is that you can just cover over some of your over spills.
Awesome. Deborah says, I appreciated watching Baz showing me some new techniques. Thank you so much. Dances with Pam saying she loves how much the shading makes it all look so real and pop out, which is great. Astrid as well just says, colour me happy. I think the clue is in the title today, isn't it? Everyone's absolutely loving this show. Lisa's still talking about her dogs watching along as well, which is amusing. Don't forget as well about the tri-blend brush pens. Very, very busy on those tri-blend brush pens. Still, remember, you're not just getting the tri-blend brush, you're also going to get the free discovery kit as well, worth $11.99 in the UK or $15.95, sorry, if you're in the US as well. So you get that in as a bonus, whether you're going for the brush or whether you're going for the original tri-blend. Oh, Carolyn sent us in. What do you make of this one, Baz? You've been colouring along live with us.
Yeah, it looks perfect.
And she's been
really
making
good
dinner as well at the same time.
Well done. Multitask, you see. I
you
can't
can
multitask.
tell she's a woman.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
So
Multitasking.
all we need you
at its
to
best.
all we need you to do next time, Sarah, is also if you could cook us some dinner at the same time while she's doing it.
Oh, hey, and look after the kids, Joe. Nothing's a bother.
Oh, awesome. That is always good to know. Karen saying as well, incredible, Baz. I'm so amazed at how well both of those mandalas have come out in the show today as well. Sarah is going. Is really going for it. It's looking awesome, Sarah.
Yeah, I need to do what Baz said though. Know when to walk away.
Right. Okay.
So I tell you what. Give me a minute, and then I'm going to walk away from it and show you my finished one. Yeah.
Now, obviously, Baz, it's great that you've included that artwork for us. So remember, beginners, you can go, or not just beginners, absolutely everyone, even as Sarah is saying, you know, the bit that's the least fun bit, as Baz called it, the actual marking out of the mandala is done for you because Baz has done that download for us, which you can go and get right now from our website on the home screen, or there is the download link across the bottom of the screen. But for beginners, Baz, what sort of difference do you think a good quality pen like the Tri-Blend or the Tri-Blend brush marker will do? It
makes a massive difference. You know, with a cheaper pen, you'll get overspill when you try and blend the colours. You notice when I use the one single colour for a flat space, if I try to do that with a cheaper pen, you end up getting the over colour that you used to get with the old style felt tips, with the alcohol markers and the tri-blenders, regardless of whether it's the brush or the blender, you don't get that.
Absolutely awesome. Baz, it has been an absolute pleasure having you with us in the studio today. We are going to give away, aren't we, some of Baz's beautiful artwork before the end of the show as well. Sarah, how are you getting on there?
I am pretty chuffed with that. Can I just say one thing? We're not giving mine away. Right?
What?
We're not giving mine away. I am keeping this. I wish I hadn't drawn that big arrow on it now. I'm going to cut it out and I'm going to keep that as being my first proper 3D mandala. In fact, I was going to lift it up, but no, have a little look at it overhead. And you know what I'm going to do? Because we've got all these tri-blend brush at home. I'm going to take the other, because bear in mind, that is just one of many downloads that you've got in the downloads section this week. So you can start with any of them. I quite fancy having a go at this one, I must say. So I'm going to give that one a go and then kind of pick them up and then have a try. So yes, I'm definitely. And the thing is, Baz, we can go on your Instagram and see loads of other ideas, can't we?
Yep. There's lots of different designs on my Instagram.
Yeah. So, and what are we looking for on Instagram? You tell everyone.
Sorry, say that again.
You tell everyone what to search for on Instagram.
Baz Furnell.
Baz.
That's it. Just simply my name. That's it.
That's what it says on the
Special.
tin.
That's exactly the one and only. And remember, it is in, if you have the discovery kit, it is in all the details there. You can see Baz's picture and you can look Baz up from there. I just want to show you that one that we've got, that one there, the actual one that Baz didn't coloured, that is it there. If you just want to take a picture of my screen now, you can come back to this. That is what we're doing. Do you want me to do a Sarah zoom? Here we go. Right, I'll hold it there, so because if you're anything like me, you want something to copy off. So I'm going to take that one and I'm going to copy off that. I'm going to come back to this point in the show, and that is going to be, I think that's going to be tonight's homework for me, Joe.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's tonight's homework for me. Very excited.
It's going to be awesome. Right, should we give away then? Should we give away Baz's artwork? So
yes.
The first, should we do them two? Should we give this one away first? Ooh. This one just here. Right, this one is going to go.
Pass it over to me and I'll take it over to Baz and he can sign it at the same time.
Oh. We are, this one is going to go to Kay Restad on Facebook. Congratulations. Kay Restad on Facebook, you are the winner.
Is it K-A-Y?
K-A-Y, yes. K-A-Y. Kay Restad on Facebook. You're the winner. You need to email us, prizes@crafterscompanion.co.uk. Sorry, I think it's actually .com, isn't it? Prizes@crafterscompanion.com. So Kay's winning that one. And then Dances with Pam on YouTube. You have won. Pam, you've won the one that Baz has created in the show. So that one is going to Pam. And again, Pam, you need to email us prizes@crafterscompanion.com, which is absolutely awesome. How amazing that those will be winging their way off to Baz some original artwork there.
Congratulations, Kay and Pam.
Yeah, congratulations to you both.
Baz, I'm right in thinking, because you were telling us before the show, you've never given away any of your artwork. So all of your original artwork is literally just framed in the house. Yep. Nobody's ever had any of it.
Nope, never given any away. So this is the first time ever.
Oh, how exciting. It really, really is. It's been an amazing couple of hours. It really has. Baz, can I say, on behalf of myself and all the viewers, it's been such an amazing pleasure to have you with us in the studio for this craft salon. Hopefully, we'll get to do it again sometime.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. It's been great. Really enjoyed it. Hopefully some people have learned some new tips.
Me, that'd be me. I've learnt loads of stuff today. And actually, you know, I watch a lot of tutorials on YouTube and I learn lots of bits and pieces, but there's a lot of techniques there that you've taught me that I can take into my other colouring as well. So yeah, it's been enlightening.
It's been a pleasure to mandalise for the last couple of hours. So what I'd like to do, just before we end the show, is just run you through again everything that you've seen on the show so far. That I'm going to try and finish properly with this. Are you ready, Sarah? Tri-blend brush pens
done, Joe.
Are proving exceptionally busy. It only took me 2 hours. And remember, not only that, you're getting the Spectrum Noir Discovery Kit included free of charge as well. That Discovery Kit worth $11.99 or $15.95. $79.95. So it's great that you've got that in there as well. $79.99, $119.95. A lot of the stock has gone here. It's going to be a while before we're able to restock these larger collections as well. So do grab them whilst they're in stock. Now, maybe your starting point is going to be the original tri-blends. So the original tri-blends are the deep blends here, as you can see. Very busy on those. It's exactly the same deal. 24 markers there for you. You're going to get that discovery kit included totally free of charge as well. $79.99 or $119.95. Now the art liners, of course, are an absolute essential when it comes to creating your mandalas. We've got those on the show for you. It's the black ones. They're a 6-piece collection, 6 different sizes for you as well, from bold thick lines to super thin lines. £10 or $13 is your price there, saving you 20%, which is lovely. We've also got the ultimate pen storage trays for you. It's a 2-pack, $5.99 or $8.49 if you want to go for these. They are a half price deal. They're a buy one, get one free, which is always super lovely. Now it is Spectember. There's a lot of deals running over on our social media. We've brought one of those into the show for you as well. Go for any one or all of them if you want to of our discovery kits and pop in the code DISCOVER20 at the checkout and you get an extra 20% off of that price that you can see there. DISCOVER20 is the code that will get you an extra 20% off of our discovery kits. There's a whole host of different ones in there. What I would say is, well, if you've enjoyed this show, remember we've done a Colour Me Happy show for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, months in fact. So and also we've featured a lot of guest artists. So I know Benita, Baz was here this week. Benita was here last week. A few weeks ago, Tatiana also joined us as well. So you can really go back and start to build up your knowledge on all of the different colouring products that we bring to you. It's been super busy. Massive thanks, Sarah. It's been a pleasure to have you in the studio with us again today. You are back with us on Monday, is that right?
I am indeed. I'm doing Ben's first day. So whereas today was blast off, Monday's day one. So make sure you tune in with me and Ben for a masterclass on Monday morning.
That'll be fabulous. And then we'll be together as well for an amazing Sarah cartload next Thursday. Oh my word, it's going to be incredible. And also, again, massive thanks to Baz. Pleasure to have Baz in the studio.
Thanks very much.
As well.
Thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure. A safe trip home. Baz, right, we are not done for the week. The week might be over, but the weekend starts right here. And it starts with a Double Debbie Day tomorrow with myself and Debbie. We'll join you. We'll be back here, I should say, at 1 p.m. tomorrow UK time. So make sure you have a great day or a great evening, and we'll see you back here for another jam-packed day tomorrow. Take care.